that are frankly hard to hear. Investigators say they found a heart sticker had been placed on the duct tape that had covered the little girl's mouth. And they also revealed how the body was disposed and what was found with the remains. Plus, we're getting details on what evidence investigators were looking for when they searched the home the same night Kaylee's remains were found. First at 5, live team coverage. Tony Pipitone with more on the focus at the house. But first, to Mike DeForest with the evidence found in the woods. Mike.
Well, Jackie, back in December, detectives did not immediately know whether the body that they had found in the woods was that of Kaylee Anthony, but they had a strong suspicion that they would find evidence inside the Anthony family home that would link back to the crime scene. So, armed with this search warrant, detectives entered George and Cindy's house looking for some very specific items. Kaylee Anthony's body was not just wrapped in a plastic garbage bag. Detectives say she was also in a cloth laundry hamper bag. And she was not dressed in the clothes George Anthony says he saw Kaylee wearing the day of her disappearance. Instead, investigators found a small shirt, size 3T, a small pair of white shorts with vertical stripes, and small cloth-type letters that appeared to be iron-ons. When detectives executed a search warrant on the Anthony's home the night Kaylee was found, they were looking for silver duct tape that might have matched the tape wrapped around Kaylee's head, hair, and mouth. They also searched Kaylee and Casey's bedrooms for a sheet of heart-shaped stickers. Investigators found a heart sticker near Kaylee's body. FBI crime lab technicians later discovered residue on the duct tape similar in size and shape to the sticker, which means someone likely decorated the duct tape with a heart before disposing of Kaylee. Inside the garbage bag, detectives also recovered a Winnie the Pooh blanket. That discovery likely reminded them that Kaylee's bedroom is decorated top to bottom in Winnie the Pooh characters, including her bedspread. Authorities wanted to seize any Winnie the Pooh blankets, towels, or clothing to see if they could be linked back to the crime scene. Detectives also looked through Kaylee's toys, trying to locate a toy horse similar to one found near the body. Of course, the big question is, did detectives ever find anything inside the Anthony home that would link back to the crime scene? Did they find that sheet of stickers with those heart-shaped stickers? Did they find similar duct tape? The answer is we just don't know. Now, sources do tell us that they did, in fact, find a link, but you won't find any details in these newly released documents. That's because detectives specifically asked a judge to seal that information from the public, at least for now. Reporting live in Orange County, Mike DeForest, Local 6.
Mike, you mentioned that detectives found different clothing than what Kaylee was last seen wearing. What is the significance of that?
Well, Jackie, at this point, we just don't know. Perhaps George Anthony was mistaken about what he last saw Kaylee wearing. It's also possible that someone may have changed her clothes before disposing of her in those woods. Detectives actually had a hunch that they might find the clothes that George described back somewhere inside the Anthony house. So in this search warrant, they specifically tell a judge they're going to be looking for the clothes George talked about. Again, we don't know whether they found them. Jackie?
All right, Mike, thank you.
Think back to the early days of the investigation. Among today's new revelations, just why detectives were so focused on the Anthony family's backyard the day after Casey was first arrested. Tony Pipitone has been looking into that part of the story, and he joins us now. Tony?
Yeah, you may remember back in mid-July when we first heard the name Kaylee Anthony, the search was on for her body right in the Anthony family's backyard. Now, today's release of information is shedding new light on that search. From the beginning, detectives had their eyes on the Anthony family backyard, and now we know more about why. The neighbor who lent Casey a shovel in mid-June told police that George Anthony mentioned the ground was disturbed in his backyard. And in an exclusive tour of the yard given to Local 6 by the Anthonys, we can show you where that ground was disturbed, here, behind the swimming pool. The report released today says a 12 by 5 inch section of dirt was disturbed, so deputies called in cadaver dogs. And it was the dogs that indicated human remains once rested on the ground near a playground area and an area near Kaylee's playhouse. Investigators dug up the ground in those areas and found nothing. So what does it all mean? Remember, Wednesday, June 18th, 2 days after Kaylee was last seen alive, Casey returned to her parents' house and borrowed the shovel for only about an hour. Not long enough to bury a body, but certainly enough to disturb a 12 by 5 inch patch of her parents' backyard. By then, investigators believe Kaylee was already dead. So did the killer lay Kaylee's body in the backyard, in or near her playhouse, while trying unsuccessfully to dig a grave? It's just a theory, but one supported in part by the material turned over to the defense and made public today by the state attorney's office. That was just one of several developments coming out of today's release of information. Coming up at 6, I'll look at what Cindy Anthony was saying to co-workers as her daughter and granddaughter went missing for weeks last summer.